We begin with the latest on the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who remains in intensive care at a London hospital today as he continues to battle the coronavirus. Well, according to his spokesperson, the 55-year-old Premier was stable throughout the night and he remains in good spirits. He was reported to be receiving oxygen, but it's also been reported that he does not require a ventilator at this stage. Well, Johnson, whose partner Carrie Symonds is pregnant, is the most high-profile world leader to become infected with COVID-19. Well, messages of support have flooded in from across the UK and across the globe.
It's horrible for any family, so I just felt I've been thinking mainly about his fiancée, because obviously she's pregnant, so it's quite a horrible situation for them to be in and as a family. So I don't agree with him politically, but I do wish them the best, because it's scary for any family to be in, any people to be in, because there's so much that's unknown about this condition.
Well, I think he's getting the best of attention. I only hope that the rest of the British population get the same attention. But unfortunately, it won't be the case, will it?
Yeah, it definitely might make people take it more seriously, maybe stop people hanging out in parks and meeting up with their friends. So I guess it's good in that respect, but awful for him and for his family and for the nation.
Reaction there to the news that Boris Johnson remains in intensive care. Well, in the last hour or so, Queen Elizabeth is reported to have sent a message to the pregnant fiancé and also to the family of Prime Minister Boris Johnson, wishing him, and I quote, a full and speedy recovery. Well, the Prime Minister's condition is thought to have brought home the seriousness of COVID-19 to the people there in the UK, where 5,373 people have died so far from the virus. France 24's Bénédicte Paviot is in London with this update.
The latest health bulletin for the Prime Minister is positive. Boris Johnson has been stable overnight and remains, we're told, in good spirits after spending the night in intensive care being treated for coronavirus. That is the health bulletin given by a number 10 spokesman. He said the Prime Minister, who is 55, is, quote, receiving standard oxygen treatment and is breathing without any assistance. He is not on a ventilator. Mr. Johnson, who was admitted here to St Thomas's Hospital, less than a mile away from 10 Downing Street on Sunday evening, as a precautionary measure, he was suffering symptoms of coronavirus such as a temperature, high temperature, and also a persistent cough. Now, then he was transferred on Monday evening. We had that surprise announcement saying that he'd been moved to intensive care, which did cause some alarm. So this news today will be quite reassuring. And this comes as Cabinet Office Minister Michael Gove has become the latest politician here to self-isolate because a member of his family is displaying symptoms of coronavirus. Meanwhile, the Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, is in Downing Street, and he has been chairing a COVID-19 daily crisis meeting, and he's acting as and when necessary in lieu of the Prime Minister. This, as the number of patients here in the United Kingdom, deaths have reached 5,300, and we haven't even reached the peak yet of the pandemic. Experts here, scientists say that could be in the next 10 days.